For 31 years, I never once missed a Monday morning meeting. Let that sink in. In 31 years, I missed almost everything else, but never a meeting. I missed recitals. I missed birthdays. I missed the school play where my daughter had exactly one line and delivered it perfectly, to an empty seat where her father was supposed to be. But this isn't a story about one missed play. It's about the day I found out my daughter had quietly stopped inviting me to anything at all, and that it had already been years. If you've ever told someone you love the words "next time," please don't turn this off. Because those 31 years taught me the one thing no school, no boss, and no father of mine ever bothered to explain. I'm going to show you how a decent man misses his whole family without ever once deciding to. Not with a bang. With 1,000 small, not tonights. And I'll tell you about the ordinary Saturday that finally earned me a seat back at her table. Stay with me, because the last lesson is the one I'd give anything to have heard at 40, when I still thought I had all the time in the world. It didn't start out selfish. That's what people get wrong. I wasn't chasing money for myself. I was a young father, holding a tiny girl named Emily, promising her the whole world. I'd grown up with nothing, and I swore my child never would. So I worked. And here's the trap nobody warns you about. The work loved me back. Every extra hour got rewarded. A raise. A title. A bigger office. One floor up. The company always needed just a little more. Stay late for the big client. Fly out Sunday so we're ready Monday. Just until the next review, I told my wife. There was always a next review. And Emily kept inviting me. She was a determined little thing. She made invitations by hand crayon on folded paper, a lopsided heart, 3 words on the front: "Daddy, will you come?" I still remember what I said. Not no. I never said no. I said, "Next time, sweetheart. Daddy's almost done." I said it so often I think she learned it before she learned to spell. Here's the part that should frighten you. I wasn't a monster. I was proud. I told myself providing was the same as being present. A man can live inside that lie for a very, very long time. There's a hospice nurse who spent years sitting with people in their final weeks, writing down what they regretted most. The second biggest regret of all, and she said it came from every single man she cared for, was this: I wish I hadn't worked so hard. Every man. They didn't miss the office. They missed their children's childhoods and the company of the people they loved. Not one of them bragged about a deal they'd closed. They spoke about small moments, a bedtime story, a walk, a small hand they'd let go of too soon. I just didn't have the sense to learn it early. I was still too busy earning. Because here's what no one tells you about a career. It will take everything you feed it, and in the morning, it will still ask for breakfast. I kept feeding it. And Emily's childhood did not wait for me to be ready. The years went faster than I did. I finally got the corner office top floor, my name on the glass. And soon after, 2 things happened close together. I retired. And my wife, Emily's mother, passed that same winter. Suddenly, I had exactly what I'd never had: time. A calendar with nothing on it. 40 years of Mondays, and now not a single meeting left to run to. So I started clearing out the house. And in the back of my wife's closet, I found a shoebox I had never seen. She had kept everything. Every crayon invitation Emily ever made me. I sat on the bedroom floor and went through them in order. Daddy, will you come? My birthday. Daddy, will you come? My recital, year after year, in a child's handwriting that was slowly growing up. And then, near the bottom, the handwriting turned into an adult's. A printed invitation to her college graduation, one to her wedding, one to a baby shower. And then, nothing. The box just ended. And that's when it hit me, sitting on that floor. My daughter had not cut me off. She never yelled. She never sent an angry letter. She simply, quietly, stopped asking a man who never came. And the worst part, the part I can barely say out loud, is that I hadn't even noticed. The invitations had stopped years before, and I'd been far too busy to feel the silence where they used to be. A silence like that doesn't knock. It just moves in, one empty Saturday at a time, until you mistake it for peace. There are researchers at Harvard who followed hundreds of men for more than 80 years, one of the longest studies of a human life ever done. They wanted to know what actually makes a life turn out good. It wasn't the salary. It wasn't the title on the door. The clearest finding after 80 years was the warmth of your close relationships. I had bet my whole life on the one thing the evidence says matters least, and I bet it all. Let me say this as plainly as an old man can. Being important at the office is not the same as being needed at home. I confused the two for 31 years. And I decided, right there on that bedroom floor, that I would not spend whatever time I had left being right about my sacrifices. I was going to try to earn back a single seat at my daughter's table. Now, here's where I have to be careful, because I do not want you repeating my mistakes. I did not call Emily to explain myself. That was my old reflex. To list the sacrifices, to make her understand why I was gone. 31 years had finally taught me that being understood is not the same as being welcome. So I did 3 things. Write these down. First, I stopped saying next time forever. Instead, I asked for one small, specific thing. Not, let's catch up sometime. I said, can I take you to breakfast Saturday? 1 hour, that's all. Specific, small, no speech attached. It took me a full week to work up the courage to press send. And, she answered, carefully, okay. Second, I showed up small and steady, and I let her set the pace. No grand apology tour, same little diner, same booth, 1 hour, every Saturday she was willing to have me. For every year I'd made her wait, I could sit quietly and let her take her time trusting me. Some Saturdays, we barely spoke. I kept showing up anyway. Showing up, it turns out, is a language all its own. Trust, I discovered, is rebuilt in ordinary minutes. Not grand speeches, one poured cup of coffee, one honest question, one more Saturday kept. Third, I finally put the people I love on my calendar, the way I used to guard a board meeting, non-negotiable. Because I'd learned the hard way. What you schedule is what you actually choose. And one Saturday, over cold coffee, I said the truest words I own. Not just, I'm sorry I wasn't there. I said, I'm sorry I taught you to stop asking. She cried. I cried. 2 grown people in a vinyl booth. Somebody once did the math on childhood. From the day they're born to the day they leave, you get somewhere around 900 weeks. And most of the time you will ever share with them is gone before they even finish grade school. I learned that number far too late for Emily's childhood. But I did not learn it too late for her daughter. The granddaughter I now pick up every Thursday. On the calendar, in ink, This time, when a small voice asks if I'll come, the answer is already yes. Emily and I aren't perfect. 31 years leaves a mark you cannot sand smooth over one breakfast. Some wounds never close all the way. They only soften, quietly, when you finally stop leaving. But I have a standing invitation now, and I have never once been late for it. So let me leave you with what school never taught me, and what I nearly learned too late. You will not lose the people you love in one big fight. You'll lose them one, next time, at a time. No one, not one soul, reaches the end wishing for one more day at the office. The corner office gets a new name on the glass within a week. The empty chair at the table stays empty. And the invitations don't stop with a slam. They stop quietly. So quietly, you can miss it for years. If you're too busy to feel the silence, don't wait to notice. If a face came to mind while I was talking, you already know who it is. Don't wait to be invited. Today, say yes to one small, specific thing. A day, a time, 1 hour. Then tell me their first name in the comments and subscribe. Because next time, I'll tell you about the year my father turned 70 and wrote letters to everyone he'd ever hurt, and how the last envelope had my name on it. Wisdom, my friend. Before it's gone.